Well, YouTube, thank you for tuning in, and today I'll be reviewing Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 is, well, the third installment of a long-running game series created by BioWare. And Mass Effect 3 is an action RPG. And its biggest achievement is the science fiction universe of Mass Effect, and it's still as fresh as in the first game. You are Commander Shepard, the galaxy's last hope of survival against the evil Reapers. That alien race is going about killing everyone on all the planets. So you travel around with your spaceship on this galaxy map, visiting all these planets, interacting with lots and lots of different characters from unique alien races, to get different quests to accomplish, all just to, well, save the universe. As in the first games, along the way you'll make some moral choices here and there, and a lovely feature is the fact that you can import an old save game from the previous game so that the story continues based on certain choices you made in the past. So the story of Mass Effect 3 is pretty much straightforward, but it's really epic in scope. Few games give you the sense of dread and desperation and fear for this catastrophe that's going on. This has a lot to do with the brilliant graphics and unique and imaginative design of the buildings and characters and so forth. Still, I must say that the facial animations are really lacking. Faces look stiff and hardly show any emotions. Now, in this area, the game series did not progress. And another thing are the animations of your main character, of Commander Shepard, especially when he's running. It still looks really awkward. Now, gameplay-wise, this is still, as said, an action RPG, and most missions basically boil down to going to a certain planet and clearing it of all the enemies that are there. Now, doing that will earn you experience points that you can use to upgrade your character, like his gun skills, or her, because you can choose a male or a female Shepard, but you can upgrade his or her gun skills and special powers. Now, the cash you'll earn, you can spend on better variations of certain gun types, like your pistol, a shotgun, and a sniper rifle, and all that, as well as on weapon and armor upgrades. Now, the action is, in my opinion, the weakest part of the game. First of all, it's very much repetitive. Now, all the lush graphics cannot hide the fact that this is a very linear experience. So you'll be forced to usually go one route, and you're confronted with a lot of invisible walls and unclimbable ledges. And this kind of feels restricted very much because this game is so big in scope, but the gameplay actually forces you to go through these tunnels and restricted areas. Now, combat is hampered by lackluster controls, and I'm sorry to say that. So taking cover, for instance, is a pain in the ass. Not much getting into cover, as well as getting out of it and moving on and shooting enemies. And sometimes it feels like your character is sort of glued to the surface of certain cover spot, or he sort of gravitates immediately to that spot in order to take cover, but you were not supposed to, you didn't have the plan of doing that. So now the shooting itself is pretty solid and convincing, and you can utilize all these special powers in the midst of combat. Like, for instance, you can slow down time and for better aim. You can use different sorts of ammunition. I didn't think that the enemies acted really intelligently during combat. Some of these enemies are pretty stupid and they just charge at you, and others do flank you or take cover, but are easily exposed. And the AI of your teammates that usually accompany you on a mission or on missions is pretty basic as well. Now you can give them also basic orders, move to a certain spot in the area, but the problem is that even though they can shoot and use their specific powers, they expose themselves really too much, and in result die too quickly. So it feels like the main purpose of them being there is basically a distraction for the enemies. Now, one thing I must say of this game is that it has brilliant music and sound effects. This is really a game you should play with your earphones on, and it really gives this extra epic feel to it. So when all is said and done, I felt really satisfied with the game. You really want to see things through. You want to play this game till the end just to see what's going on and how everything comes to this climax. Now, I'm not going to spoil the ending. I'm not going into this discussion that's going on about the ending. You just have to experience it yourself, I think. But rarely a game gives me an experience like Mass Effect gives you. It's really epic. It's far from a perfect game, but it's quite a good one. So BioWare can tell a heck of a story, and I think they deserve an 8 out of 10 for this game. But last thing, BioWare, please don't do this day one DLC. I think that's really dumb. All right, forget about the DLC, first day DLC. Just play the game. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave comments, let me know what you think, and I always appreciate it. Thanks.